Hi there, a few things to fill you in this month's video update. First of all, it's now 6 months since we've been doing our new pattern of Sunday services, having a 9 o'clock service, followed by 10 o'clock coffee, followed by 10:30 service. And we'd love to know what you think. We promised that after 6 months we'd review it, so that's what we're doing this month. There's paper copies of the questionnaire, or there's questionnaire online. We'd love everyone to fill in, so that the Church Council can do a proper review of how it's going and make any tweaks or changes that are necessary. So please do that as soon as you can. Second thing to mention is this year's Harvest project. In addition to our harvest services on the 24th of September, and you can bring along, as always, dried goods and tins and cans and so on to that, which we'll pass on to the Basics Bank, we also want to support two other charities this year. And that's going to be Fair Share, which is operated by Scratch, and that takes excess food from supermarkets and it delivers it to community groups and charities and others working with some of the most vulnerable people and families in our region. And the second charity we're going to support is our link parish of Bupadengo in Uganda. And we know that some of the poorest families out there struggle to feed and educate their children. And so money we raise is going to enable Reverend Peter, the vicar out there, to make grants to some of those families. Here's how we're going to do it. I'm going to encourage you to share a meal. That is, to invite round some friends from church, some friends not from church, and to share a meal together, to enjoy fun, to be thankful whilst you do it. And when you invite people, explain to them that this is going to be a fundraising meal, and that all the monies we raise through this meal are going to go towards these two harvest charities. There's going to be information online where people can look up about the charities and decide whether they want to give to it or not. And we pray that through this we're going to raise funds which will make a big difference to those charities, but will also really give you a fun time with your friends. And here's the last thing to mention, and this ties in with a letter which hopefully some of you have received already and others will be receiving in a few days' time. And that is that this autumn I want your help with a big project we're doing to help focus our priorities for these coming years as a church. At the moment we do lots of tremendous things, but we've got a sense that we spread ourselves a bit too thinly by doing too many things. And actually we need to work out what God is calling us to over these next few years. If we do fewer things but do them more deeply, we will have a bigger impact for the kingdom. And so we want to gather people to pray, to seek God, to discuss together, and together we will work out what these priorities should be that God is calling us to over these coming years. It may be that some things are for other churches to do. It may be that other things were good ideas, but they're going to be for some point in the future. It may be that some things have been good in the past, but actually God isn't calling us to focus on them now and over these next few years. So in the autumn we're going to have 3 evenings where as many as possible gather together to pray and reflect and chat together as we discern together what God is calling us to focus on. I hope you'll be able to come along either by yourself or with people from your cell group or missional community if you're in one of those groups. And it'll be a really significant time as we help shape the future direction of our church.